Reframing Mindset podcast, where I clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity, practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Okay, welcome back to the Frame Mindset podcast. My name is Concept Luxandis. So we'll talk about um so I talk about getting the mesh up and preventing the chicken and stuff like that. And what I actually realized, so it was exciting as it problem solved and stuff like that. But what I actually realized to talk about. I guess this is a talk about this kind of related to another episode about habits. Where be like, so because after I put up the mesh and stuff like that, I realized what happened was the first few time I see the chicken actually coming and actually was just doing putting animal pieces more on the veranda. Then after a while I tried it. I don't even know if it come on the veranda still, but it is the less the more after a while of keeping up the mesh, the less I actually see it come to the come to the um come to the door to actually come in and actually try to um feed and feed come into the home and actually do stuff in the home. And what happens that while this is maybe true, it's only for a few days. What I have to actually do, I actually remember to always put up the mesh. This is not this. I said I just bought the mesh for like a couple of days, or not even a month yet, or stuff like that. So with things being foolproof or stuff like that, you have to actually try a few years or stuff like that sometimes to actually make sure so that when the answer is coming, it's foolproof and stuff like that. So the mesh will actually come in and prevent them from actually just stop them from actually trying to come in and stop a chicken. That's the thing, actually stop a chicken and stuff like that. Not talking about a different animal yet, and a different animal will come in and be like, oh, run through and stuff like that. But a chicken actually stop the chicken from trying to come in, trying to come in. I don't know if you actually come in and stay that long, you would actually do that, but at the same time, I don't want to know. That's the next thing. I don't want to know if I actually open it with actually. But the next piece is to actually find out how to actually get the chicken outside of the home and stuff like that. But knowing that um, this relates to another episode. This is relates to another episode because actually putting the retirement and stuff like that. And what you realize is that I was actually doing the work, not doing the employee work and stuff like that. And when I realized is when I actually come home and stuff like that, the home, I all those habits that I built in the working experience and stuff like that is so lost in the home. Like legit. Sometimes I just be like, oh my god, I work 24 hours in the home, bro. I just wake up and feel depressed. Not feel depressed. I feel like wake up and be like, oh my, cause that's the thing. I was for the last few days I was up there, so waking up coming up late, going to work late and stuff like that. But no one was here, just waking up and it's like, what happened? And what happened is that sometimes it's not actually even the problem with the home or anything like that. What happens is that the home, if you actually break it down, and that's gonna realize, I guess, in the fifth year or stuff like that, the home ownership. And this is talk about laziness and stuff like that. I'm going to actually go through everything, and I guess that's the goal for maybe this year of the home ownership. I'm going to actually go through everything and realize that it's just some few stuff that I actually need to do. Maybe like, oh, I just need to do this, and stuff like that. But each of these stuff kind of take a while and stuff like that. And this relates to the episode talk about shelf life and all these stuff. Each of these stuff take some time to do in the bro. And what happens is that when I actually go through and finish every single task, I would actually realize that these are simple tasks to do, but but what happens is that as time and everything, with time and everything, time tools and stuff like that. And the fact that I'm actually have to get used to doing these stuff. We just naturally get better. So what happens is that, oh, I'm here complaining about doing these stuff for like a couple of days or stuff like that. Boom, I do it more and on. I'm more prepared to do these stuff. and all these things like that. So that's basically what happened or what changes that you don't when actually coming and leave the work or stuff like that. The the home is you're actually getting security into the home and stuff like and you actually made some what this is what you're experiencing for you will be like all those years of work is actually paying off. Actually purchase some stuff. All those years of school, high school and stuff like that. You actually seen all those stuff in your home. Accolades, all this stuff. Yeah, all those episodes actually seen those stuff in the home. So what happened this year for ownership is actually there's stuff that you actually want to do. There's stuff you actually want to do as well. But there's you actually have to kind of stop and clear up every single thing in the home uh, and start out everything in the home and you realize certain stuff going to be just be removed. So I said that's the reason why that separating business and personal and stuff like that. You actually in this is the phase you're in now. In this phase where you be like, oh, business, personal, and everything is right here. Business, personal, and everything in between, and work and everything in between, in the one place. It's in, and all of the stuff is for one individual. I can imagine if it was for two, even with two people and all these stuff, that all that would happen with for the same for the second person as well. So you actually have to be mindful of that and say, okay, this progress that you made with everything is there for you. And all of these progress and stuff like that is made for you alone. All of these are business, personal, high school, whatever for you alone. So actually, what happens that all these stuff going to this year can be simplified or can be placed correctly in and make everything perfect. Where be like, that's the reason why all these lessons is so that when you actually see the full execution, and I think it's hard to actually execute. What happens is that when I actually fully execute, I think it's not really hard. What happens is that when I actually fully execute it the perfect way, you're gonna realize, oh, now you're gonna have this podcast, see everything that I actually do to get those steps. What happens is that I actually had to go through the process to do all those stuff to say that it won't bam, no, it's so easy. And it's so easy a caveman could do it and all this stuff. But what happens is that I actually had to go through those steps through the proper channels to actually do it right. I actually do go through those steps to do it through the proper channels to actually do it right. What happens is that now so so yeah, but when I actually execute it now, everything gonna just connect, but it's gonna take a while for all. Um, this year it just focusing on getting that accomplished and getting all those stuff accomplished, so that when other years you won't have that problem. You know, other years you won't you will have somewhat a bigger problem and stuff like that. Yeah, like maybe next year you don't hear me talk about chicken anymore. And stuff like that. Maybe. And maybe I can even quantify how long I'll be talking about chicken and stuff like that. But that's the thing. But you're making the progress. That's the thing now. You're making the progress, but sometimes it with the habits and stuff like that, you're so locked into one habit or stuff like that. And when you progress here, when you come back here, you don't realize the progress that you made because everything is kind of clumped up. So now you know, but all of these stuff, all of this progress is made by you, the individual. All these progress and everything like that, everything that the family give you, gifts and everything else is for you, the individual. But what happens that you don't realize it, but you're actually more mobile and more stuff like that than you think. So sometimes you actually be like, oh, here is a host homebody or stuff like that. All these stuff they're giving you is saying that you're actually not a homebody. Actually, I should be out there so doing these stuff. Or just that you take some time for you to get back into that groove again. Actually, and what means you have to do it your own way. You have to actually get back into the groove in your own way. And this is me saying that okay, I'm actually doing this in my own way. When it clicks for me and it's like, oh, everything is out there, so working and I click and I see me out there, so rolling, and it's like, what happens is that I took my time to come out like that. I took my time to come out like that, and it's like, all right, everything work for me like that. But no, why you don't it don't just happen like that. It does take some time to click. When it clicks now, then you see that part of the area just move smoothly and stuff like that. That's the reason why sometimes you hear me talking about the BSc level or stuff like that. And I mean, complaining and stuff like that about that BSc level and stuff like that. Sometimes I actually realize it, those days are over. I can always, it's good to always go back and wall and all these stuff. But all those wallowing and all these things is because I'm actually at this phase where I actually made some progress and stuff like that. I'm on it's a nitty gritty and all this stuff. But this is the phase of me out there, so transitioning into the new phase. And it's a new lot of stuff out there so have to be cleared up and sorted out. And this is all the complaint and all this stuff I made to actually transition into this new phase. There's a lot of nitty gritty to go through and all these things. So that's basically it for this episode. Thank you for listening and look forward for the next episode.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.